What's up, garden family? I'm out today. I'm tying down some of my tomato plants and some of my berry plants. And I'm also cleaning up some of the tomatoes, getting suckers off and just uh, trimming off lower leaves and whatnot, and just cleaning the tomatoes up so so you can get bigger and more lush tomatoes on the long run. And I was also doing a little bit of fertilizing. So anyway, let me show you guys what I have done thus far today, and then we'll take a look at the berries, see how they're doing. Okay. What up? How y'all doing? So I'm down here lower, down at the tomato. This tomato plant here is about 2 feet, maybe a little bit over 2 feet, but right around 2 feet, right? And as you can see, the stalk of the tomato plant is very thick already, right? This is a rugged tomato, and what I do, or what you should do to your tomatoes, right? You want to trim off all these lower branches down here, right? You don't need that, right? Because all that's going to get lower to the ground, touch the soil, and create fungi and diseases on your plant. So you want to avoid your leaves and stuff like that touching the ground there to avoid disease to your tree. So anyway, plus the tree will benefit a lot more now that I got all these branches off here, right? All the energy now that's going to be going into your plant and not into those leaves there, right? So now that will give you, on the long run, bigger and more lush tomatoes. Of course, you want I gave it a nice fertilization with the tomato plant fertilizer that I use. You know, there's so many, so, you know, I'm not even going to talk about that, but just, you know, give it a nice fertilization, keep your trees properly watered, and don't overwater your tomato plants, because they don't love to be watered too often, but give it sufficient water and plant it in a nice sunny location and keep it nice and pruned, right? And you'll end up with nice big fat tomatoes. All right, so let's move on to the next one. This one here, it's got some flowering buds here already. Well, you know, tomato plants put out flowering buds pretty on. But what you want, right, is to have your tree properly nourished and in proper health. As you can see, this tomato plant, right, looks very healthy. So give your tomatoes a good fighting chance there. All right. And also, what you want to do is also you want to add some magnesium, so that way, you know, that will help with your tomatoes not developing blossom end rot. Okay. All right. Now I'm over here at my German Johnson. As you can see, the same thing, just same procedure, just taking all those lower leaves off and taking all the suckers off. You don't want none of those suckers. You want to prune all those suckers off, right, until your tree gets to the height where you want it to at, and then if you want to have some suckers grow, then you have them. Once my tree reaches a certain height that I want it to be at, and I have the significant amount of tomatoes on it that I want, I will just take off all the suckers and I won't let no more tomatoes grow on it, so that way I can develop big fat tomatoes. I do that on quite a few of my tomato plants, and then some of the other ones, you know, you just let them go, so you end up with a lot more tomatoes that you can share out to your friends, family and friends. However, the tomatoes that I keep for myself here at home, I only let so many tomatoes grow on the plant, so that way I can end up with those big slicing tomatoes for the BLTs. You know what's that, baby? Okay, now I'm over here at my big boy. This is the big red. This is my tomato that I am prepping up for the Peanut Peppers Biggest Tomato Challenge. This, as you can see now, this big red here has a nice big fat stalk on it, and the branches are nice and thick. So I plan on getting some big fat tomatoes on this tomato plant here. Peanut Peppers thinks he's gonna win the challenge, but that ain't gonna happen. And there's a few others out there. Jess, you ain't gonna win either. Let's take a look at some of my blackberries and raspberries. What we have here, we have the Triple Crown blackberries, and we have the Heritage raspberries growing right above them on the same wire runs and stuff. So anyway, as you can see, it's just, the plants are just loaded down with flowers, right? And some of them, the flowers are starting to fall off now. And as you can see, the blackberries are starting to form there. I'll show you some bigger blackberries that are coming along on my other run in a sec. But right up top, right, you can see all the Heritage raspberries, right? Now these all come in nice bundles of usually it's about 9 per little bunch. Then up top there, as you can see, all the raspberries. Now let me show you here. Now here on the blackberry here, right? Well, actually, this one here is one of the raspberries. You can see it's putting up new shoots. New shoots are coming out there, and now those shoots there, those will be for my fall harvest, right? The ones I got on there right now are my spring harvest, and these ones here will follow up, and I'll get a secondary harvest that will come along in the fall. And same thing over here. Oh, hold on a second here. As you can see back here, you can see this big fat shoot coming up, right? That shoot, that's a blackberry, right? That will be for my next year's fruit. There'll be some fruit on them this year as well, little bits, right? But mainly this new shoot right here, that'll be for my next year's harvest. I'll get a few of those on each of the blackberries. All right, let's walk down to the next one. All right, so we're over here at my other blackberries and raspberries. And as you can see over here, this side over here is mainly raspberries. And as you can see, all the raspberries there forming along. It's gonna be pretty nice pretty soon. Once all these blackberries, raspberries thicken up and get red for picking, it's gonna be nice picking them. Blueberries are starting to form. This one here is slow and coming. This one here is my Southern Highland blueberry. This one here will fill up later on. You know, the great thing about blueberries is, right, you want to have, I have about 9 or 10 different varieties of blueberries. You want to have lots and different types of blueberries because they all, you can harvest them at different times because they all don't actually produce all at the same time. Some of them produce early, some of them come along later, and some of them even come along later. So have a lot of different types, so that way you can continuously harvest blueberries. This one over here is rabbit eye. I tell you, my favorite blueberry is the northern blueberry. This plant over here is the northern blueberry. This is a prolific producer. I mean, it just keeps producing and producing every year. As you can see, this thing is just loaded down with blueberries. The strawberries are starting to come along now. A lot of strawberries. They're all small at the moment there, so I gotta pump up on the fertilization here and get these strawberries to end up being big. But it's a great thing. This is the first year that I did this. I made this strawberry tower, and these are all these strawberries that you see here. These are all from runners that I took off other plants, and this is the first year, right? And they're all of them are producing strawberries, right? All of them producing strawberries, and now I just got to work on getting these strawberries to get big. And we got salad bowl up there, but we're not going to talk about that, right? All right, let's walk on over to we have some more blackberries, and so we can take a look at those. Those ones are a little further along. Now, some of my other fruit trees, like the peaches and the nectarines, those are all growing. The pears are producing. But this is about the berries. I'm walking past the tree now if you want to take a peek. Beautiful day out today. All right, over here, as I was saying, the blackberries over here on this side over here, as you can see, they're further along. Before it's all said and done, right? These blackberries that you see right here, right, will be like that. I mean, these blackberries, they get huge. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and leave it here. Hope you enjoyed the little tour of the berries. So the berries are doing good. Looks like I'm gonna have a nice harvest of blueberries, raspberries, the blackberries, and hopefully the strawberries as well. I mean, like over here in this bed over here, right? You can see the strawberries. The strawberries are much bigger, hey? Strawberries are getting bigger over here. much bigger over here, so I'm gonna keep spraying these guys here, and hopefully, you know, I won't have too big of a slug problem, because you know those slugs, they want to come over and just eat up your fruit just when it's just ripe. You know what I mean? See those? So these strawberries are over here doing much better. So hopefully another week or two, I can start harvesting some of these here. All right, guys. You all have a wonderful day. Take care.